Well, you mess around and you find out. That's the reality for a cruise passenger stuck at a cruise port after getting kicked off a cruise ship. We also have Carnival Cruise Line extending a popular program, and we've got a cruise passenger that's learned a lesson in the hardest of ways. Yes, all that and more on today's episode of The Cruise Show.
All aboard! Your ship is leaving. Talking about everything going on in cruising. It's the Lido Loca time. It's the cruise show. It's the cruise show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido Loca. Welcome to The Cruise Show. I am your host, Tony, here to talk you through everything going on in cruising. It's everything going on in cruising, and it's for your face. For your face on a Saturday the 15th of November, 2025. And our first story takes us to a land down under. I met a man in Australia one time. He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. And he said, "Oh, did you get into a altercation on a cruise ship?" That's exactly what happened. We go to the Anthem of the Seas, a Royal Caribbean cruise ship, where an Australian man has been booted after participating in some fisticuffs. The incident took place on the 13th of November around 9:30 p.m., where two people got into some sort of altercation. One man getting hit in the face, a bloodied nose, and the other man being detained. And when they arrived at Port Chalmers in New Zealand, he was kicked off the ship. He was met at the ship by authorities from Dunedin, and apparently no formal charges have been filed. The man is just left there in New Zealand to find his own way home. This is what happens. If you mess around and you find out, you will get booted off of the cruise ship, and you will not pass go, you will not collect $200, and you will have to figure out how you're going to get back. Royal Caribbean has acknowledged the incident, but there's not a lot of details out there. I'm assuming this man will get banned for his violent behavior, and probably should count himself lucky that no charges were filed. And well, if that story wasn't disturbing enough, buckle up for this one. Another one involving a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. This time an incident occurring on one of the world's largest cruise ships, Icon of the Seas. There has been a former cruise passenger convicted of a horrific crime against children. 67-year-old man from Malaysia was convicted in federal court. This happened on a cruise ship. 7-year-old boy, 9-year-old boy playing in the hallway, a corridor of the cruise ship. The 67-year-old man approaches the two, and it ends with him touching the 7-year-old in the worst place possible. And of course, the children reported this immediately to their parents. The security on board got involved. This person was detained and now convicted. I don't see what the penalty is, what the sentence is for this person, but yeah, the story is horrible, and the reason I bring it up is just as a reminder that when we cruise, even though it is very safe and these incidents are few and far between, these incidents do occur, that there are bad people on cruise ships sometimes, and we can't really let our guard down. We have to keep that situational awareness up. We have to protect our kids, we have to protect our loved ones, and we have to protect ourselves, not only everywhere else in life, but that also extends to the cruise ship. Now, I don't think you should cruise like a fraidy cat, all paranoid, but I also don't think you should go on a cruise ship all Pollyannic, like nothing bad could happen. Hopefully this guy gets the maximum sentence possible, and nobody else will be victimized by him. Horrible stuff. Okay, I guess we can consider those two stories the darker part of the episode here. Let's make our way into some lighter news. Oceania Cruises has christened their next and newest cruise ship, the Oceania Allura. And what we've seen lately is a lot of the bending of the traditional godparent, godmother roles when it comes to these new cruise ships. For the longest time, it's just godmothers. That's the tradition. You get a wonderful woman to be the godmother of the cruise ship, and they do the blessing and the christening, all that. But then we have seen some godfathers come along. "Oh, I'm going to make you not that kind of godfather, but I remember Elvis Duran, a DJ from New York, as a godfather of a Norwegian cruise ship. Of course, we saw Matthew McConaughey become the godfather of the New Star Princess, along with his wife, godmother Camila McConaughey. And so in somewhat of an interesting twist, the godparents for the Oceania Allura is a team of godparents, and Oceania Allure and Oceania in general, known for its fine culinary program. The godparents of this ship is now Food and Wine's best new chefs. And so Food and Wine Magazine, these are the chefs that were named best new chefs. There's a long-running relationship between Oceania and celebrity chefs. Even at the event the other night for the Allure, you had Giada De Laurentiis there on hand, Kat Cora, Claudine Pepin. They're all godmothers of other Oceania ships. And so they were in attendance as it was a food-forward christening of a brand new cruise ship. Fair winds and following seas, we say to you, Allura. Get out there and make some memories. How about that? How about that? Let me introduce the next story in song. Good day, sunshine. Doom, doom, doom. Good day, sunshine. Classic song by Ludacris. Shout out Ludacris. Carnival Sunshine has made its first appearance back to Jamaica after the hurricane. We've got cruise ships that have started to return to Jamaica. Primarily in Jamaica, the port of Ocho Rios is reopened for business. Montego Bay continues to get ready to be open for business. Also, we see Falmouth continuing to get ready for cruise traffic. The tourism minister there says that all these ports will be open by December 15th and in full function. I think I mentioned the other day that Disney is skipping Jamaica until they can go back to Falmouth. But any of these cruise lines that can use Ocho Rios, it seems like they are returning to Jamaica. And then even before they started bringing passengers, these cruise ships were also stopping there and aiding the relief effort with supplies. So, good old Carnival Sunshine back in the cut in Jamaica. Now, let's talk about a word coming from Carnival Cruise Line that a new program that they announced earlier this year is so popular. It had to be popular. It's so popular that they are going to extend it into 2026. And we're talking about the Cheers Zero Proof Beverage Package. For it seems like all times you only had 2 drink package options. Maybe it was more than that, but in my mind, it's 2. You either had the full-on drink package, the Cheers package, or you had the Bubbles package. And the Bubbles package was just soda. So you either got the alcohol and everything else included for the expensive Cheers package, or you had like the $8 a day, probably more than that now. I never got it. The Bubbles package, which would just give you soft drinks. Well, now you got something in the in-between. It's a Stranger Thing. You got something in the in-between. You have the Cheers Zero Proof package, which will be non-alcoholic beverages, but almost any kind of non-alcoholic beverage you can get on the cruise ship. Mocktails, you can get the specialty coffee, bottled, sparkling water, soda pop, and other things. They have other canned beverages that are non-alcoholic, the Powerade, all of that stuff. You can get that now with the, I don't know why this is happening today, with the Cheers Zero Proof Beverage Package. I guess a lot of people have been asking for it, and as of yet, it hasn't shown up for purchase for 2026 sailings, but it should be soon. It's about $30 a day to get all of that non-alcoholic included drinks. So, can you drink $30 of soda and coffee and water? Possibly. The nice thing about Carnival is you can bring some canned sodas or canned water on with you. You know what? I'm leaving in the morning for Miami to go on the Carnival celebration, and I told my friend Don Terrace, who's going to be on that cruise, that I would pick him up Diet Dr. Pepper. So I need to do that and get some Coke Zero. Great reminder. Thanks, show. Thanks, episode, for helping me remember that. And now I really need to tell you about a cruiser who learned a lesson in the hardest of ways. But before I do that, I would love to take a moment to invite you to subscribe. I am so appreciative of everybody who watches this show. I'm appreciative of everybody who subscribes to this YouTube channel. And it has been an amazing, fantastic journey since 2017. The next subscriber milestone for us is 300,000 subscribers. And these subscriber milestones, they really become vanity metrics at some point, right? People watching the show is really the thing. Like, you want to make a show that people watch. But it is nice to hit some of these subscriber goals. But tactically, when it comes to YouTube, you want to hit 1,000 subscribers so you can get paid to make stuff. Then you want to hit 100,000 subscribers so you can get a plaque. And then the only other thing you get is 1 million subscribers, you get another plaque. So subscribers really a bit of a vanity metric, but I guess I'm not beyond saying I'm a little vain. So if you could help us, get to 300,000 subscribers, I would much appreciate it. I'll even make this appreciation hand symbol. Please consider subscribing if you haven't. That way you'll get notified when all of these episodes come out. Keep you up to date with everything going on in cruising. Doesn't cost anything, and I'll give you a big thank you in advance. Now, let's talk about somebody that learned a lesson the hard way. Some people gotta learn the hard way. Here's a message that was posted on a Carnival group on Facebook. Message reads, so I was looking at my booking and realized I missed final payment by a few days. Sad face emoji. Should have set reminder, but also never got a single email from them about my final payment. Question mark, exclamation mark, question mark. Alas. I love anybody that's using alas. Alas, my booking is canceled due to my own forgetfulness. Is it even worth calling to try to get some kind of help rebooking and not losing my $199 down payment? Or am I going to have to chalk this up to a hard lesson learned and just reboot the trip? Again, the reason I share this is because there's something for all of us to learn in this. Pay attention to your final payment dates, because that's what happens. If you miss your final payment date on a cruise that you have booked and you have a non-refundable deposit, I think maybe even with a refundable deposit, at some point they just keep the money. And I know there are examples where you can call and try to get stuff reinstated. I'm not sure if that's a case-by-case basis. I'm not sure how many exceptions that they make, but certainly this lady could be out $199. Has this ever happened to you? What do you do to make sure that you do not miss your final payment date? And, do you think that Carnival should cut this lady a break? That's the big question. Look, that's everything that's going on in cruising. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. This is Tony for Lido, Loca. Hit the like button if you like the show. And now there's really nothing left to do but dance. Get up. Get up.